So I was living in one of those luxury buildings in Stoneham. I also lived in another one in Lynn. I was actually up there to do a little work at the beginning to help them rent out. Being in real estate, that's a cool situation at the moment, at the time. You know, I had a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom unit that I was paying, including parking, probably about, after all in, after water, sewer, electric, after parking, whatnot, you're probably looking at $3,500. My plan was to get out in the market. Being a realtor, I do have access to properties, and I have access. So I was looking for, I guess you would call it like the perfect 2-family. I was looking for something that I could qualify for. I could be a landlord. I could do the whole thing, and where I can live in one side and rent out the other. And the numbers were they just for some reason weren't working in the areas I was looking, and it got a little frustrating. I was kind of getting sick of sitting on the sidelines and cutting that check every month. And I have some very amazing, solid, like I've mentioned in one of my other videos, contractor, real estate savvy friends that really just know a different side of real estate that I'm so grateful for, to be honest with you, to have these kind of guys in my life. I said, you know what, I'm gonna look for something under $500K, single family, and just see what pops up, and go out with one of my contractor friends and just look at some properties. I had no intention of buying anything. There were 4 units in Methuen that all caught my eye. So we went up and we jumped out on a Saturday morning and we rolled up to Methuen. And the one that I saw was, I mean, it was kind of a hack job. It was kind of a joke, to be honest. And we knew right then and there, this wasn't gonna be anything and whatever. And then we rolled into this other property that I ended up buying. And I'll tell you what happened was I walked in, it was livable. You technically could have lived in it the minute we're in it right now. I mean, you could have lived in it the way it was. And I had noticed that this is right before Christmas too, guys. So we'll get into like different times to buy and strategies you can use when you're not with everybody else. When everybody else is Christmas shopping, you could be looking for a house, and we'll talk about that too. Huge. I saw this property and I had my guys with me. We kind of did a little pre-inspection, drew downstairs, electric, plumbing, kind of look at some stuff that you could see from the eye, and I was like, wow. So what I did was I went back, excuse me, on the MLS, and I noticed she had dropped the price twice in 2 weeks. Yeah, twice in 2 weeks. And I said to myself, geez, I mean, this seller looks like she really, needs to sell, So I was like, you know what? I'm putting an offer in it. I'm thinking to myself, I'll get it. We'll see what happens. I threw it out there. I ended up getting $30K below asking price, renegotiated that. Being a realtor, I was able to keep some of my commission, which made it even crazier of a story. And I got my offer accepted on this property, and I was like, oh my God, no way. I had no, I was like, now what? And I said, looks like I'm moving, right? So anyway, to make a long story short, I had to talk to my lender. That's the most important thing in this, guys. If your agent says this is a good lender, go with them, all right? I know you may know somebody, they may be a friend. You need a loan officer that's gonna get your offer to the finish line, because at the end of the day, that's the most important